On Friday, August 19th, Tom Tillis came to New Bern to hold a town hall meeting. Here are a few excerpts from that session. A more complete version will be available shortly at the Craven County GOP website.
The intent of this gathering is for you folks to ask questions and for these folks to give you good, serious, straightforward, honest answers. Now we're going to get that out of everybody.
I give the success of our caucus largely to this man who kept us in line, who kept the whole house in line. And I can tell you right now that this man has infinitely more patience than I do. Many times, if the gavel had been in my hand, the debates on the House floor would have only gone for 10 or 15 minutes instead of 2 or 3 hours. This man had that patience to allow the other side to speak and to offer their views. And so it's with great pleasure that I just introduce you in.
Hear me okay back there? I'm going to put this back here because I don't like to be anchored down. I appreciate everybody coming today. I actually especially appreciate the opportunity I had just before I got here. Going through Tryon Palace and going through the museum was amazing. The museum, I love doing a lot of things. I mountain bike and do a lot of active things. And I was never competitive as a kid. I was an overweight geek. But when I got a little bit older, I started doing a little bit more active competitive things. So I like a good competition. And I could see a good friendly House and Senate legislative competition going through that museum. I think we can get that turpentine cooked up quicker. And Dane sure knows we can sell that ship more straight to the Senate. So we decided to come in and see if we could actually get closer to a budget that would not be based on those are called non-recurring revenues, ones you can't count on in the future without raising taxes or basically taking out a loan or getting money from other sources, and balance the budget. So over the course of 83 legislative days, we ended up spending $5 billion. One of the most painful processes that I've been through. I literally had some appropriations chairs reduced to tears because it was very difficult decisions. But so were the other decisions that would have had to have been made, which have been raising taxes or doing things, imposing an imposition on the other side of the balance sheet. It's all got a balance. So we cut spending by about $1 billion. We also fulfilled the promises of the past legislature, and we allowed the taxes to expire. Have a little bit more time to get our legs and get a little bit more experience and do a lot more better things. But with that, I'm ready to put it over to the audience for questions. Yes, sir.
First of all, I'm Bob Maddox, and I'm past chairman of the Tryon Palace. I'd like to do more of this and have more people to see that this is the first General Assembly ever held in North Carolina. Again, back to the privatization thing, we can, I think, and the camp needs to speak to this, probably already has, we can probably work toward that, but I think something like this wonderful history center, museum center, can't do that as quickly as like we do or the aquariums could do. So we just like to ask you, what we can do in the meantime before the short session to sort of protect this. It'd be really hard for us to live with another $1 million cut. You know, thank you for that.
Thank you. First, I'll tell you that through the work of Representative Sanderson and Representative Preston, they made it clear the economic impact, the importance of Tryon Palace to the members of the House, and that's why you saw what you saw in the original recommended House budget. We had a lot of things that we had to do to move things around. When the Senate got it, we clawed back a fair amount, but not enough. And I know what the second half of the biennium means in terms of terms that a lot of people in this audience would know. It's a 2-year budget. The first year of funding for Tryon Palace is different from the second year. We've got to work on that. Don't sell yourself.
I'm on disability. My total income is $763 a month. By the time I've been paying for my rent and electricity and the phone and my service dog, there's no money left over for food, and emergencies and other things I need. I just recently got noted from Medicaid saying that that optical services are going to be eliminated, for adults, and also the scaling and root canal will be earn money a little bit, this branch might increase my rent, or that branch might increase my payments, or whatever. So I can't get a working, I can't find a way to live. I've been coming for 7 years now, doing everything I can do. I took a loan to go to school, I worked with vocational rehab. I'm not a lazy person, I'm an educated person, I'm willing to do whatever I can work part-time, but I feel like
Well, I don't know if you all heard that question back there, but I wish you had. In the future, I want somebody to raise their hand, and then you can't hear a question, and we'll get a microphone to you. First, thank you so much for what you are doing. I mean, you're trying to do your very best. Some of the things that frustrate me the most about what I see, particularly in Medicaid and some of our health and human services practices and policies, is the disincentive for people to go try and help themselves. I mean, there is right now, and if you need to maintain some services, there's very little incentive for you to go out there and try and become more independent. But no, because some of these are so fundamental to your health and well-being that you just don't have, it's not a viable option. And it doesn't make sense. A lot of that is because we've just locked on layers over time. Now, another problem that we have, and one of the reasons why we did have to cut some Medicaid benefits, I'm not familiar with these specific programs, but we will get your name before we go, and I'll make absolutely certain that you speak with one of my chairs of Health and Human Services Appropriations to at least explain to you their rationale for that program. And it could be because they believe that there is an alternative, and then one question would be, do you qualify for that alternative, or have we shut off those options? And I would personally like to know that, so we'll make sure the staff get your name, and you'll either speak with Representative Dollar or Representative Bern, who are the co-chairs of Health and Human Services Appropriations. One of the reasons for the cuts, though, and one of the reasons for the veto overrides, actually, was that we're losing money through waste, fraud, and abuse. We're losing money, and to me, it's in some ways it's the worst form of theft, because you're taking from the government at the expense of somebody like you who may have clearly a legitimate need that needs to be fulfilled. And so some people look at me thinking I'm like a knuckle dragger or an older trying to take money away from Medicaid and passing that bill. But I'll tell you, if I could find the person who's actually fraudulently taking money, and it's not, and by the way, when we talk about fraud, we're not necessarily talking about the patient. There is some of that. There are people who basically lie and take money from the government and sort of feign illnesses or feign injuries so that they can get prescription drugs, those sorts of things. But a lot of the fraud and abuse is from the providers. They're trying to find clients so that they can make money.